It is, it's recording. Hello. All right. Hello, Mr. Grimsdale. I used to love him. What was his name? Norman Wisdom. What a character. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Welcome. I'm trying to professionalize. Yeah, right. No, really, I am. I'm trying to professionalize. I'm trying to get my act together. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's very, very windy outside. It's like a storm blowing. And I've got a couple of things that I want to report. I am quite excited at the moment. I'm feeling motivated. You know, first thing, let me mark this particular recording. Realise it's something I need to do. Today is Sunday, the 7th of December, and it's about 5 o'clock. When I replay the video, I'll know what it is, and I'm going to save the video under that date stamp, that information. Because I've been watching lots of different YouTubers, trying to learn from them, and I love it. I absolutely love watching YouTube and watching YouTube creators in whatever their field is, whether it's trading stocks and shares, whether it's creating videos, whether resellers. I follow several resellers, eBayers. Love you all. I think you're fantastic. I mean, I really do. I just wish I could perform to the same level as you lot. I really do. But, you know, I keep saying this, you know, there aren't many, well, I haven't found any yet. There aren't any eBayers out there on YouTube that sell in the same style or manner as myself. All the people that are on YouTube appear to me to be resellers. Not a problem. It's just the thing that I have in common with you is that we sell on eBay. So the rules of eBay and the things that impact eBay impact us all. But our selling style, our approach is different, if you know what I mean. But you have a very interesting content, an interesting style, an interesting discipline to report on. You know, you're acquiring stuff from car boots, from charity shops, from Facebook groups or what have you, for 50p and selling it for £100. That gets my attention. Okay, it's not like that completely, but I look at Brum Reseller and you can pick up an album for £1 at a car boot and it's worth 99 quid. I love the numbers. What's not to love about it? You know, and I know Ricky, you know, will pick very happy, and I haven't got a problem with it. I think it's great. It's a great approach as well. He'll pick something up for £1 and he'll sell it for £3. Why not? He's tripled his money. You know what I mean? However, it's not necessarily about the profit with Ricky. It's about shifting it, giving it a second life, a new life, and also basically interesting to report on. You know what I mean? And it's still a profit at the end of the day. A profit's a profit. You know what I mean? Even if you only make 5p, it's a profit. It's not a loss. And once it's gone, and you just go and get something else. And the next thing you buy might be a £30 profit. That's it. And I love you all. I think what you do is fantastic. Really do. But today, what I've done something a little bit different. I've actually made notes. I've thought about what it is I want to talk about. Try and put some structure to my videos, because apparently that's what you've got to do. It's not just that. It makes sense to bring some kind of control to what it is I'm talking about, rather than just ad-libbing and whittering on and just doing a brain dump of absolute Drek. You know what I mean? I realise that I haven't got an audience and nobody wants to listen to me because I'm not that interested. Why am I not that interesting? It's because I'm just talking rubbish all the time. So I'm going to try and put some structure to my videos. Let's see if it makes a difference. One of the things I want to look at is I was looking at DaVinci Resolve yesterday on how to actually use it to make a thumbnail. So I want to make a thumbnail so that I can start off my YouTube videos with the same footprint, if you like. We'll see what happens. It has to come at some point, you know what I mean? There's all sorts of techniques and I don't know what you call them, but techniques to improve the video, and I'm going to do it. I see that Nick does it. Ricky's brilliant at it. He's growing, no doubt about it. You all are. Your street's ahead of me, like years ahead of me. That's okay. That's all right. I'm a slow developer. My mum said I was always a slow developer. Okay, so let me see if I can. They're scribbled notes. It's just a bit of a mind map. First thing I want to talk about, or what I find really, really, really inspiring and motivating. I can't tell you how it makes me feel. It's like the chuzzer in me is chomping at the bit. I want some of it. I love it. For me, it's the sound of success. And it was a video that Nick put out yesterday. You know, Nick and Andrea. He put a video out yesterday explaining that his videos were always about how he makes money from his activities. That was the intention of his videos. And like he said in that video yesterday, he put out, he's been at it for about over 10 years now. And he's built all sorts of relationships. He's built a community, and he's built a nice little revenue from the videos that he makes. He's put out over 2,000 videos, you know, and he's got a nice little income stream. And the current run rate of his income is £1,600 a month, £1,600 a month. I forgot to put my duper on. £1,600 a month. That's on top of the income that he makes from any other activity. I mean, that's wonderful. Just wonderful. I can't ever record him basically doing a video on what he earns. Perhaps there is one there. Maybe I should go and have a look for it. But I'd like to see what he used to earn if there was a benchmark at one particular point. You know, like if it was what do they call it? A stake in the ground. Maybe he was only earning £600 a month at one point, but now he's on £1,600 a month. For being paid, he's being paid for what he likes to do. And that is like, I can't, you know what I mean? It's like so exciting for me because I like it. I love it. I love talking to myself. I love talking to myself. And I want to be paid for talking to myself. No, but you know what I mean? The prospect of building an audience and getting an income stream from it. It's like being a TV personality, isn't it? Being paid to, you know, on Crossroads or Coronation Street or something. Being an actor. Not that I want to be an actor. I don't. But anyway, Nick, it was a great video. I loved it. I mean, really, Mamash, I loved it. I love all your videos. I think they're great. Just wonderful. I'd love to know what Ricky and Big Al and Retro. I wonder what they make. I mean, it's, you know, they can turn around and mind your own bloody business. Got nothing to do with you. No, but maybe Nick's video will trigger a Me Too kind of video, you know, and they'll share with us what it is that they make. I know I could imagine it could be quite hard to share actually, because it might be too personal, to, you know, prying eyes into, because there's going to be those people out there that basically hate it that they make money from videos that they watch. I'm the opposite side. I love it. I'll watch it all. I'll just leave it on play for you. I'll just on my screen. I'll put it on play and I'll walk away and I'll just let it play, so that you get the adverts, you get the revenue from the watch. That's what I'm like. I'd like to ring up 200,000 friends that I haven't got and say, okay, can you all go and watch me now for an hour? You don't have to sit there and watch me. Just put it on play and leave it. I bet there's people that do that. But anyway, that's that. It was lovely to see Nick. I really loved it. I really did. The next thing I want to talk about is I saw Big Al has decided to throw the towel in with regards to his eBay business. I saw that he's got a garage, hasn't he, on his home, where his house is, and that's where his business is. And with the difficulties he had with eBay, he had to lay his staff off. So perhaps it's got too much for him. And then he had a neighbour that basically poked the nose in, reported him to the local authority, and he's had a meeting with them, and I think he's agreed or decided that the hassle's not, it's not what he wants to be in that business for, you know. Maybe the stress or the inconvenience or the, maybe it's just caused him to actually rethink his future. So he's reconsidering his future, and I'm sure he's going to bounce back and he's going to do something even better than what he's been doing. No doubt about it. He's that kind of character, isn't he? And good luck to you, Mal. I think you. I can see that you've got a few critiques there on your in your comments, but sod 'em, you know what I mean? You go out there and do it. Show us how you make money, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. I love it. I love it, making money. It's not the be all and end all. It's not the whole purpose of being in life. But some people might say, you know, when you go, what you leave behind you is a measure of what you actually did with your life. Some people look at it like that on a material level. Me, I'm a bit more spiritual, you know. Me, I just like the feeling that goes with it, the buzz. It doesn't matter whether I make £100 or £100,000. What do I talking shite? I've never made £100,000 in my life. I've made £100 though, but that's a good feeling. I like to do it on the stocks and shares. But I have moments, you know, I make stupid trades. I made a £350 during the week, and a couple of weeks ago, £450. But in order to get to that profit, I had to experience or tolerate a £3,500 to £5,000 drawdown. You know what I mean? The investment that I made went down that much. It hurts, but I held on because I knew it was going to come back, but I shouldn't have made the trade in the first place. Had I waited, instead of chomping at the bit and jumping in, right, and being, what's the word, impulsive, like greedy, I could have held on another day. I would have seen the share price go right down, and then I could have got in. I could have got in, and I could have made 5, 6, 7, 8. I've actually calculated that the first time I traded Glencore 4 weeks ago, had I invested when it went in, when it fell to its bottom, its nadir, for that trading session, and held on to it until Friday, just gone, I would have made £8,500. £8,500. Okay, it's not new car money. It's not, of course, it's not new car money, but it's a holiday. It's a new suit of clothing. It's maybe I can add it to my wreck of a car, and I basically get myself a nice new motor. But anyway, it's not the point. I could have just added it to my trading part and just basically got ready for the next trade. So I've been reevaluating my mindset, my thinking with regards to my execution on the stock buying. And I've got to basically stand back, and I've got to make fewer trades, and I've just got to watch the stock market for a pullback, for a buying opportunity, rather than just jumping in. I know what that trade looks like before it even happens. I have it imprinted on my mind. I know when it happens, there's always a decent pullback. There was one, you know, with regards to Reeves' budget a week ago. The whole market took scare, took fright, and it all pulled back. Everything pulled back, and I should have recognised what was going on at the time. But I was in one stock only, and I was just looking at that stock, and I thought that the move, the retracement was stock specific, but it wasn't. It was the market that was being pulled back. And I need to have a market information flow, so I'm more aware. I've got to be more informed, and I've got to understand that was the buying opportunity of the month. I could have jumped in there and got myself a nice 4 or 5 grand out of that. I could have gone into Vodafone or Lloyds Bank, and I could have done it nice. Because you see, those stocks, BT is another one. Those stocks, when you get in at the right price, if it happens to be the wrong price and the market or the stock falls, then you're backed up by a nice little divvy. The dividend, if you have to hold the stock for a year, you're still going to get a payout. You know, you're going to have some cash flow coming out of it in the form of a dividend, a tax-free dividend inside an ISA. You know what I mean? And that'll pay for your holiday. And eventually it will come back up. But, you know, it's just knowing that that's there. But as it happens, you can get 4 or 5% in a fortnight. And that's what I'm after. So I'm going to watch what happens during the week. But I realised I need to simplify things, and in particular, I've gone back to basics, and I'm going to be looking at trend lines, just trading the trend line. And there's a girl out there. Her name's Tori Trades, American girl. And she's genuine. She's sincere. She's quite funny, actually. She's very successful. Very pretty girl. But she knows what she's talking about, and she trades the trend lines. She's got a very simple trading strategy, and just sticks to the knitting, basically. She was taught by her uncle. She was taught by her uncle as a kid growing up. She used to sit by him, watching him trade. So she learnt from him, and she developed her own particular style. And she made $54,000 the other day on one trade. She basically went out, there was a breakout, and she was in that position on a future. I think it was palladium or something like that, or platinum. She went out for a meal with her sister, and she was sitting in a bar, and there was a move, and she was $54,000 up, and the sister filmed her taking the profit at getting out the trade for $54,000. Oh, wow, imagine that, with a cocktail in her hand in a bar, about to eat a steak. What a feeling, what a life. Good luck to you, girl. Good luck to you. I love it. Anyway, so that's that. The other thing is, what I wanted to talk about was, I saw that, we're going back to Nick. Nick's got 70,000 subscribers now. 70,000. He's the king of subscribers. He's got more subscribers than anyone, because I saw that Retro's got about 40,000 and Ricky's got about 40,000. I think. I don't know what Big Al's got, but interesting. Anyway, in the meantime, I've got something else I wanted to talk about. I bought a bread machine, didn't I? I got this thing about, I want to make, basically, I'm trying to stay off bread, first of all. I'm trying to stay away from carbs, but I'm going to have, I decided I'm never going to deprive myself, so I'm going to have bread at the weekends, but in particular only just one type of bread, and on one day only. And but in particular, I want to make it myself. I don't want to buy it, because one, it's expensive, and two, it has to come from London or Manchester for me, and so it's not as fresh as it could be. So I want to make it myself, but I don't have the time for it. And so I saw that there are people out there that make this bread, and they also press for time, but they use a bread maker. So they use the bread maker to make the dough, and then they finish the dough off into the shape of a bread, and then they bake it in the oven, and that's how they do it. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I bought a bread maker, and I made I just followed the basic recipe and put the bread in, put the dough in, the flour, yeast, water, and made a little loaf. Just let it cook all the way through, not just for the dough, just to see what, how it comes out. And when it finished, I was a bit surprised, because there's a window in the top of the bread maker, and when you look through, it looked anemic. It's supposed to be a golden brown, but it was anemic, and I was disappointed until I opened it up and I managed to get it out, and it was really crusty and crispy, and I thought, okay, I could live with that. And I couldn't wait for it to cool down, so I cut a slice just to see, and it was really fluffy and bready, and I had a bite. It was lovely. I thought, nice. I can only get better, I thought, So that was that. The other thing is, in the meantime, we've got problems with this light here. I can probably mention it to you. My dad comes down here before me on a Sunday morning, and he ends up working in the dark because that light doesn't come on. The only way it will come on is if I get on the table and touch it with a broom, and then the light comes on. So my dad ends up struggling without the light. So, but I got this light here. It's an old IKEA light, and I had it in my bedroom. So I said to him, take it down with you, and you can basically set it off on there's a white light feature on it. Where's it gone? I've got this. Where's it gone? Oh yeah, but I bought the bulb. I bought a bulb from AliExpress. I think it was about £1.14. Bought 3 of them, and it changes colour, so you can see it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I put it there, and you get one of these fellas. So I can change that now to the W. If I hold on, why isn't it doing it? Why isn't it doing it? There it is. So it's on a white light now. I can change it to a blue, change it to green, and I can change it to red. And I can have it flashing in like lots of different colours, look. Hold on. Chap, like what he's doing before. That's the bulb inside it. The bulb cost £1.14. I bought 3 of them, like I said. Anyway, my dad bought it down here, and I came down soon afterwards to put the light on. I'm going to get a new LED light up there. But you know how like YouTubers have like a different coloured light in the background? So I thought I'll just put it up for this video just to see what it's like. But let's have a look. You can't really see there, can you? Oh yeah, you can see it changing. It's probably a bit irritating for you, isn't it? But anyway, that's that. And then nearly coming to the end of it then. Health, yeah. So I went to the gym yesterday. I did half an hour and I did some leg presses. But I came out feeling, I always come out the gym feeling absolutely wonderful, feeling clean, refreshed, energised. I love the feeling, it's great. But, you know, during the week, the thought of going to the gym, I just hate it. And what makes it worse is my brother sends me a message every morning saying, you know, in WhatsApp, gym, ? Gym. And I see the word and it pisses me off. It's the last thing I want to do. So I said to him, listen, stop doing that. I said, what you want to do is send me a message saying, just imagine what it'd feel like coming out of the gym all clean and refreshed. I said, you've got to sell that to me. That's when I'll go to the gym. I'll go to the gym if I'm reminded what I feel like when I come out. So I'm going to see if he adheres to that, but I do need to go to the gym. Last night I was looking through all my videos. I managed to get all my videos together from all my old laptops, my old phones, my old computers, my old hard drives, and I've got them on this terabyte. Have I got it here now? Have I left it? I've left it at home. You know, I bought an external hard drive, didn't I? And they're all on that now. So I was going through them all, organising the videos, and you know, because they're all stored in some kind of like all these numbers. I think it reflects the date, and I've been changing it into words to reflect what the video is about. Because apparently, then you can organise the videos and it becomes searchable. So if you need one of the videos in the future, you can quickly find it and take footage from it, you know. But I was quite surprised by how many videos I've made. It's thousands of them, because it goes back maybe about to 2020. It's funny actually, because I think that I know nothing now. But back when I was when I got my GoPro Hero 3, I was illiterate. Thank you. I didn't know what I was doing. and it comes across in the videos, and I thought it's very interesting how I can possibly piece together different clips and tell a story, you know. But I see the journey that I'm on all the way through. For the last 4 or 5 years, I'm talking about my weight and my health. And I can see how I've deteriorated my health and how I'm looking older in my face. My face is looking puffy, double chin. And 45 years ago, I didn't have the double chin. I could see a jawline. I got this rosacea, I don't know how you pronounce it, on my cheekbones. 5 years ago, I didn't have it, or I'd had it a little bit, but now it's a lot worse. So it's been interesting to video myself. And go back and review it and see how I've changed. My knowledge about the videos has improved, about the technology, but my health has deteriorated. So there's a corresponding something going on there, you know. It's old age, mate. It's what happens to you when you get to 60s. You know, you're on your way out. It's what do they call it, the end of life years. And I feel the pains and the aches and everything, and I don't know if going to the gym would get rid of those aches and pains completely. I don't think they do. I think they might suppress it for a bit, but they come back. And I can only describe those pains as a dying experience. You're dying, I'm dying. You know what I mean? That sounds depressing, I know, but forgive me, please. It kind of interests me at the same time, but I'm scared by it, to be honest with you. I am scared. It's the realisation that I'm not going to live forever. You know, so what's the point of having a great channel making £1,600 a month? So what? Is it going to improve your health anymore? You know, by the time you're getting £1,600 a month, Mark, you might be in the hospital bed making videos from there. You know what I mean? I think it's I've got to pursue happiness. I've got to pursue happiness. I've got to do good deeds, and I've got to be positive and helpful, I think. Anyway, that's that. Now, finally, the one thing that I've been working towards, as you know, for those that have been listening to me, is I've been arguing that you've got to have your own website. You've got to basically develop that, because you own nothing. You don't own it. You don't own your customers on eBay. They're not yours, and you can be booted off eBay just like that. I mean, look at Big Al, lost his shops and everything. You know. I remember a time when Nick and Andrea were having difficulty with their listings, them having to prove that they are who they say they are, and that they bank where they say they bank, and that they've legitimately purchased things that they're selling and that kind of thing. I remember they had all those difficulties. They ended up building a relationship with eBay executives because they made videos about the experiences they were having. So ultimately, we're in this era now where we have to have our own website and own our own customers and sell directly to them. And indeed, all the resellers, from what I can see, even Nick was talking about it last night, you get sales from people who watch you on YouTube. And so that's, imagine if you could do that on steroids, you know, would you, and if you could get those great sales and make much better margins compared to the sales that you get on the platforms. Of course, the sales on the platforms are great, don't get me wrong, you're obviously making money, but you're also paying fees, with the exception of maybe Vinted, and now maybe eBay is not taking some fees on reseller revenue, but they do on mine. You know what I mean? They're taking a lot of revenue, and Etsy's taking, you know, up to 25%. But if you can get those sales or the equivalent sales on your own shop, the margins, the profit margins, are going to be much greater. You're going to have to. It means you don't have to work so hard, you know, or you can work hard and earn less. You know, it depends what kind of, you know, which way you want to go. So I've kind of realised this, and I ain't stupid. I've basically done. I've been to college. I've done business and finance. I know all those kind of methods and mechanics and everything. And I've had experience working in a corporate environment and rubbing shoulders with certain people in different disciplines within the business. You know, you hear what they say. You attend the meetings. They explain what they're going to do. You pick up the jargon. You understand the numbers to a certain extent, and you get with the program. You know. And you take all that learning that you've acquired in your 50, 60 years in life, and it's time to apply it to your own business. So, you know, I'm looking at the tools that Shopify have got, and as I said, they give me 10,000 emails a month. So I thought I've got to have something to write to my customers about, and I've got to basically promote something. I've got to talk to them. I mean, my nephew asked me, he said, well, what have you done with it? And I said, well, I send them a message once a year to tell them I'm going on holiday. He said, it's not meant for that. I said, yeah, I know, but I didn't have anything else to say. And he said, you do have something to say. So what I did, my most recent development over the last, say, 18 months is the acquisition of these thread cabinets. There's another 2 I want to get as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to get 2 more. So I've got a fairly decent thread range now. And it's a mass market consumable product. It's a premium product, and there are people out there that do spend a lot of money on it. And when they're changing projects and the colour of the project changes, they've got to go and get the thread. And some people do such a lot of stitching in a particular colour that they keep buying that colour, and therefore they're looking for the best price that they can get. And I did some benchmarking to see exactly where I was in the marketplace, and I was surprised to learn that I was a bit more expensive than most people out there. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and discount my threads, and I'm going to match their price, or I'm going to improve on it, and I'm going to be cheap. I'm going to be the best supplier for the price and range of the Gutterman thread in the country. That's what I thought. I'm going to aim for that. And then I'm going to create a campaign, a coupon code, and I'm going to write to my people that have subscribed to my newsletter, 1,900 people, who I've never really written to apart from informing them I'm going on holiday. And I'm going to give them a compelling offer. I'm going to say, listen, I've got all these cabinets. I've now discounted the prices to record lows, new low prices, and for a limited time, I'm giving you 15% off if you spend £50 or more, so get buying. That's the message, right? And, you know, to paraphrase it. So I set it all up. I worked towards the setting of the coupon codes. I did my numbers. I realised I'm going to lose in some areas and I'm going to make in others. But that's what I'm doing. I've decided to do that as not an experiment. Yes, an experiment. It's part of my learning curve, my learning process. So I've crafted the email and I sent it out yesterday, and I introduced it to say, you know, this has been the best year ever. I couldn't have done it without you. It's my 60th birthday year. That I'm also going on holiday. So make sure that you buy before I go away. And if you do want to buy when I'm away, then you're going to have to wait until I return for me to send your order out. And by way of thank you, there's a discount code for these Gutterman threads to celebrate my 60th birthday. So I did all that. I parked the email for an hour, went back to it, reviewed it again, and I thought, right, I'm sending it out. And Shopify basically checked it at the very last minute and said the best time to send this is 12:54 tomorrow afternoon, which was today. And it said that's when your users or your subscribers are active. See, it knows, you know. So I thought, okay, I'll accept that then. And so it was parked for it to be released at 12:54 today. Of course, afterwards it went out and I went and had a look and I saw straight away a spelling mistake. One of the words, Gutterman, instead of Gutterman, I said Gatterman. It was right down the very bottom, but there's my first learning, you know, do spell check. And then, so I went to have a look at the performance statistics. And of the 1,900 subscribers, about 1,850 emails went out. 21% of them by 4 o'clock this afternoon had been opened. 21%. They opened the email. Of that led to 15 visits. So 15 people came to the store. And of those 15 people, 10 of them went to the Gutterman to have a little mooch. Probably competitors of mine. For sure, because competitors subscribe to each other's emails, don't they? So what's he talking about? He's cheaper than me? 15% off, how dare he? So, you know, maybe that's what's happened. But it doesn't matter. The whole thing is that I've done it. That's my learning. I'm going to wait now over the next few days. I'm going to keep going back into the analytics, and I'm going to keep looking to see what the outcome is. Because one person, by the way, of the 10 people that visited the Gutterman, one person's put something into a basket. You can see it. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know what the value is. But we shall see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't matter. The important thing is that I've done it. And I've still got 8,000 emails left to send each month. So the idea is to improve on that email, tighten it up. Just in case you didn't see it, send that email again. And by the way, maybe you didn't see it the third time, send it again, just to remind you that this discount is still available. Fourth time, send it out again. Don't forget it expires at the end of the month. That kind of thing. And just keep doing it. Keep sending that email out to the same people. For sure, I'm going to get people unsubscribe. But that's fine. They're probably people that only ever wanted to buy from me once anyway. They only subscribe to get the 10% discount that I give them, and then now they've no intention of buying from me again, so they unsubscribe. That's okay. It's all right. I will acquire new ones as time goes by, new subscribers. And I'm going to keep writing to people, and I'm going to keep offering them a compelling reason to spend with me. I'm going to be cheap, dirt cheap. Why? Because I come to the conclusion that It's all very well being a stockist, but there's no point being a stockist of product if it ain't selling. You've got to get it shifted out the door, and you've got to give them a compelling reason. And reason in my trade, it's price, isn't it? Price is the thing that's, they can basically get my product anywhere in the country from any online seller. So my compelling reason is spend it with me. I'm the cheapest. That's what I want to do. I'm going to be Jack Cohen, Tesco, pile it high, sell it cheap. That approach. And I'd rather be not necessarily a busy fool, but you know, I'm quite happy to sell 50 quid's worth of gear and make 10%. A fiver will do. Thank you very much. £5, £5. It's a profit. Like what Ricky does. You know what I mean? He buys something for £1 and sells it for £3. It's a profit. And I'm going to do that. And as I gain experience from this marketing campaign, I'm going to apply my learning to the next products that I've got. And I've got plenty. I've got plenty of things. Buttons, for instance. I've got some people that love, they're knitters. They knit kiddies' cardigans, or they knit cardigans for famine relief or what have you, and they want buttons, nice buttons, because they take pride in the products that they make. Some of them just do it for pleasure, others do it for profit. But they like buttons, and they come along and they spend like 20, 30 quid on buttons. So I want to give them an incentive and say, spend £50 on buttons, I'll give you 15% off. Because I'm going to do a button campaign, I'm going to do a zip campaign, I'm going to do one for ribbons. And then the cash flow, the idea is that as the cash comes flowing back to me, lovely, I'm going to put it into fabric that's due for release, latest fashion, listen to that wind, latest fashionable fabrics, and I'm going to apply the same incentives to the fabrics, and I'm going to be there first to market at the lowest possible price. I'm going to be aggressive. That's what I want to do. That's my mindset anyway. And as the audience builds, I want to be able to take that mindset into the live selling. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I've never done it before. I stood behind a counter in a market when I was a kid, and I've seen, like, you know, here, ladies and gentlemen, you got cottons, needles, lace and elastic for your knickers. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? I used to stand to people, next to people, you know, pitching. I was a fly pitcher myself. I used to fly pitch. I used to sell jumbo-sized gents cotton hankies. I'll give you 4 for 50p. I used to sell terry towel in sports socks, 3 pair for £1. I'd stand on the street and do it when I was a kid. But you can't sell in that way in a live manner. You've got to have everything organised and lined up and ready to demonstrate. That's what it is. It's demonstration. You've got to be like my mum was a demonstrator. And you've got to be able to pitch it, and you've got to be able to actually clarify the price and field any inquiries, and you've got to be able to actually have a system in place to accept and manage an order so that you can pick, pack and dispatch it the next day and get it out the door. That's what you've got to be able to do, and I've got to get there. That's the destination, that's the aim, basically. Of course, along the way, I'm discovering little problems, like lighting, you know. And I saw on TikTok the other day that I can get these sort of square lights on a stand with these kind of feet that go out, and there was a compelling discount for Black Friday, a little bit like the discount that I got with those what do you call them, those power packs. That was a compelling purchase. I've got 2 of them for 22 quid, and I now know why I got them. It's because these stands that I've got, they're USB powered. So I'll plug them in. I'll plug them into the power packs, and I'll clear this table in front of me, and I'll let me just give you a little so you can see what I'm on about. Let's see. See the table? That's my cutting table. I'll clear that, and I'll put the lights on there so that they're facing me, and I'll put the camera on the other side of the table, and I'll stand here. And I'll pitch, and I'll develop my style, my approach. And initially, because I don't really have an audience, I'll have to make videos and upload the videos to the other channel that I've got, so that people can see that I'm selling and they'll subscribe. And as I get more, I need to get 1,000 subscribers in so many hours. And once I cross that threshold, then I can go live. And when I go live, then I can start basically selling the products live. That's the idea, right? In the meantime, I have to live with this, and I have to basically struggle with the lack of knowledge when it comes to not IT but technology. I know bits and pieces. Anyway, so I've got new lights coming. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is what I wanted to talk about today. And I'm glad that I did the structure. I still feel as if I've gone round on tangents and so on and so forth. But I still have a little bit of a structure, and I've covered off the things that I wanted to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, how long have I been speaking for? 41 bloody minutes. Listen, I'll love you and leave you, and I'll let you go. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and maybe your comments on my lies. Poor show, really, isn't it? Huh? Like a nebuch. Okay, guys, check you later. Thank you. Bye.